Let's be honest. Everyone knows the flashy side of Mercedes-Benz, the brand new S-Class tech, the roaring AMGs, and those crazy digital dashboards. But what if I told you that some of the best Mercedes ever made aren't the ones you see at the dealership today? Instead, they're older, cheaper than a used Toyota, and built so well that mechanics call them forever cars. In today's video, we're counting down 5 underrated Mercedes models you can buy for surprisingly little money models that are engineered like tanks, can survive 500,000 miles, cost less than your smartphone monthly payments to maintain if you pick the right engine, and are rapidly becoming collector favorites. This isn't a list of the most popular Mercedes, this is a list for those who know. And by the end, you might find your next dream car, one that could outlive every modern vehicle on the road. Let's dive in. 5. Mercedes-Benz W124 E-Class. When Mercedes launched the W124 in the mid-80s, they didn't design it with accountants. They designed it with pride. So much pride that engineers were reportedly told, "Build the best car in the world. Cost doesn't matter." Is it over-engineered? Absolutely. Is it unkillable? Pretty much. You still see W124 taxis in Africa, the Middle East, Eastern Europe, many with over 500,000 miles and original engines. Some even cross 1 million miles without a full rebuild. Why? Because Mercedes cared. Doors shut with the sound of a bank vault. Rust-resistant coatings far ahead of competitors. Legendary straight-six engines like the M104. Bulletproof diesels like the OM606, often called the most reliable Mercedes diesel ever made. Easy suspension layouts that even beginners can repair. These cars aren't fast by today's standards. They aren't packed with screens or software. But what they have is more valuable. Engineering integrity. Prices? Still shockingly low. In many regions, you can pick up a solid example for the price of a budget laptop, and it might last 10 years or more with basic maintenance. If reliability were a religion, the W124 would be the holy book. 4. Mercedes-Benz W210 E-Class. The W210 often gets unfair hate because of rust issues. Yes, cheap steel suppliers in the late 90s caused problems. But if you find a clean one, you're looking at a criminally underrated masterpiece. This generation introduced the M112 V6, one of Mercedes' longest-lasting gasoline engines. The M113 V8, known to outlive even the owner. Legendary OM606 Turbodiesel in earlier years. These engines are so tough that taxi drivers routinely hit 600,000 miles. Transmission? The 722.6 automatic, reliable if serviced regularly. Inside. Not luxurious by modern standards, but everything is simple, logical, real. A properly maintained E320 or E430 is one of the best bargains in the used luxury world. You get timeless Mercedes comfort, parts availability worldwide, incredible used market prices, and sleeper performance with the V8. Find one without rust and with service records, and you've got a future classic that will only rise in value. 3. Mercedes-Benz W140 S-Class. This is the last emperor of Mercedes. The final S-Class built with zero cost limits, a project that went nearly $1 billion over budget. Why so expensive? Because the W140 introduced features that modern brands still copy. Double pane, soundproof glass, soft closed doors, self-leveling suspension, electric everything, the first ever CAN bus luxury network, insane build quality. The body is so thick it broke transport equipment during testing. Engines? The M119 V8, arguably Mercedes' greatest. The M120 V12, the heart of the original Pagani Zonda. Even the inline-six options are rock solid. With proper care, these cars are heavily underrated investments, especially the V8 variants. They represent a time when Mercedes wasn't building luxury cars. They were building land-based private jets. Prices are rising, collectors are returning. If you ever wanted a real luxury icon, now might be your last chance to buy before values skyrocket. 2. Mercedes-Benz C124 Coupe. Let's talk about a hidden gem that many people overlook. The C124 Coupe. Based on the legendary W124 platform, but sleeker, rarer, and built with even more love. Produced through the early 90s, this car was engineered during the final years of Mercedes' no-budget era, when engineers had more power than accountants. Under the hood, the most desirable versions came with either the E320 straight-six or the older E324 valve engines, both known to hit 300,000 miles with ease. These engines love clean oil, cool temperatures, and calm owners. Give them that, and they'll serve you forever. The C124's doors shut with that unmistakable Mercedes vault-like click, a sound modern luxury cars only try to imitate. Inside, real wood trim, thick leather, and switchgear that still feels mechanical, nothing cheap, nothing fake. And here's the big secret. Because this car isn't a sedan and not yet a fully appreciated classic like the 500e, prices stay criminally low. You can still find these coupes for a few $1,000s, especially in Europe, but they will not stay cheap forever. Why? Because collectors finally realized how special the pill-less doors are that open, airy window look, and how few of these cars are left in clean condition. This is one of the last true analog luxury coupes from Mercedes, a design that will never return. If you want something classy, bulletproof, rare, still affordable, then this is your future classic keeper. 1. Mercedes-Benz G-Class. You already know what number 1 had to be. This is the legend. The G-Class. Built originally for military duty and refined into the most unstoppable luxury truck on the planet. The early 2000s diesels like the G2-70 CDI and G3-100 CDI are the golden era of reliability. No twin turbos, no complicated electronics, just raw engineering and a tank-like ladder frame designed for war. People call them forever trucks for a reason. They survive deserts, mountains, and frozen tundras. They are still used by armies around the world. Mechanics love how easy the diesels are to rebuild. Rust barely stands a chance against body panels this thick. When the apocalypse comes, the G-Class will still be running. Prices? Not cheap. But here's the trick. The early diesel W463 models are usually half the price of newer V8 gasoline versions, and they hold value like gold. If you want a Mercedes that truly never dies, this is it. The undisputed king. Final story-driven conclusion. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. New luxury cars are computers on wheels. Beautiful, but temporary. These old Mercedes were engineered for 40+ years of life, not 5. They feel like family, a car that grows old with you instead of breaking down on you. When you drive one, you feel the weight of real steel. You hear the soft mechanical rhythm of precision parts. You smell leather that wasn't made in a factory shortcut. You own something timeless, a piece of history that refuses to die. So if you can find any of these cars in good condition, don't hesitate. Buy it, fix it, keep it forever. You'll never regret having a car that always has your back. Thanks for watching. Now I want to hear from you. Which old Mercedes do you think deserves a place on this list? Did I miss a model that you believe is truly unkillable? Comment below, let's build the ultimate reliability list together. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more real-world Mercedes reliability guides. And turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. This is AutoScope, where legends never die.